Imagine a world where the architects of terror, the minds behind unimaginable atrocities, are offered a lifeline. Not to face justice, but to continue their work, this time under a new flag. This was the reality of post-World War II America, a nation grappling with the moral complexities of recruiting Nazi scientists. The very individuals who had fueled Hitler's war machine were now seen as valuable assets in the emerging Cold War. But at what cost? The recruitment of these scientists, many of whom had committed war crimes, was a closely guarded secret, hidden from the public eye. The ethical implications were staggering. Could America justify collaborating with those who had orchestrated such suffering? Could the potential scientific advancements outweigh the moral compromise? These questions cut to the heart of Operation Paperclip, a controversial chapter in American history. It is a story of pragmatism and moral ambiguity, of scientific progress intertwined with a dark past. It is a story that continues to resonate today, forcing us to confront the uncomfortable realities of war, forgiveness, and the pursuit of knowledge. As World War II ended, the US launched Operation Paperclip to secure German scientists, especially in rocketry, fearing Soviet capture. The operation was secretive, often sanitizing the scientists' Nazi pasts for national security. The Cold War was heating up, and America needed every advantage it could get. Operation Paperclip placed the United States in a moral quagmire. The decision to recruit Nazi scientists, however strategically advantageous, came at a hefty ethical price. The United States was knowingly harboring individuals complicit in some of the most horrific crimes in human history. The public, largely unaware of the secret program, held the Nuremberg trials in high regard, believing that all those involved in Nazi atrocities were being brought to justice. The reality, however, was far more complicated. While the world watched Nazi leaders face trial, many of their collaborators were being quietly ushered into new lives in America. This moral compromise raised uncomfortable questions about the true cost of victory. Was the United States betraying its own values by offering sanctuary to individuals who had participated in the Nazi regime's barbarity? Could such a blatant disregard for justice be justified in the name of national security? These questions continue to haunt Operation Paperclip's legacy. The program serves as a stark reminder of the ethical dilemmas that can arise in times of conflict, forcing us to confront the uncomfortable truth that even the most noble of goals can be pursued through morally questionable means. Section 4. Rockets and Research Nazi Expertise in America's Hands. The Nazi scientists brought with them a wealth of knowledge and expertise, particularly in the fields of rocketry, aeronautics, and chemical weapons. Their contributions to the U.S. war effort during the Cold War were significant, albeit born from a morally dubious arrangement. Werner von Braun, a former SS officer and a key figure in the development of the V-2 rocket program, became a leading figure in the American space program. His team's work at NASA was instrumental in developing the rockets that would eventually carry astronauts to the moon, a testament to the scientific brilliance that the U.S. had acquired, albeit under morally questionable circumstances. Beyond the space race, these scientists contributed to advancements in military technology, medicine, and other fields. Their knowledge, honed in the service of a brutal regime, was now being used to bolster American power and technological dominance. The irony was not lost on many. The very weapons and technologies that had once threatened the world were now being perfected and deployed by the nation that had defeated their creators. Section 5. Unmasking the Past. Operation Paperclip comes to light. For years, Operation Paperclip remained shrouded in secrecy. The American public was largely unaware of the extent to which former Nazi scientists had been integrated into American society and its institutions. However, the truth, as it often does, eventually emerged. In the 1970s and 1980s, as the Cold War began to thaw, information about Operation Paperclip began to trickle out, often through investigative journalism and the release of declassified government documents. The public, once kept in the dark, was confronted with the unsettling reality of the program. The revelation sparked outrage and debate. Some argued that the program had been a necessary evil, a pragmatic decision made in a time of global crisis. Others condemned it as a moral stain on America's conscience, a betrayal of the values for which the nation claimed to stand. The exposure of Operation Paperclip forced a reckoning with a difficult past. It underscored the lengths to which governments will go to protect their interests, even if it means compromising their own moral compass. Section 6. A legacy of progress and questions. Operation Paperclip remains a controversial chapter in American history. It is a story of scientific progress achieved under the shadow of moral compromise, a reminder that even the most noble of pursuits can be tainted by their origins. The legacy of Operation Paperclip is complex and multifaceted. On the one hand, it led to significant advancements in science and technology, contributing to the U.S. emergence as a global superpower. On the other hand, it involved a moral compromise that continues to generate debate and introspection. The story of Operation Paperclip serves as a cautionary tale, a reminder that the pursuit of knowledge and power must always be tempered by ethical considerations. It forces us to confront uncomfortable questions about the price of progress and the enduring legacy of our choices.